Devices are getting thinner with the 4.75mm Vivo Max 5 and the 6mm Dell Venue 8 tablet. It's clear that thinness is the future. With Apple's premium MacBook Pro, there is also this MacBook Air. The first version was announced by Steve Jobs at Macworld 2008. This device is a MacBook Pro with less specs and, well, it's very thin. I used this device for 2 months. Should you buy it? Should you not? Stay tuned for the verdict to find out in my MacBook Air review. The MacBook Air is wholly made out of aluminium, which makes it a premium feel. I put a lot of stickers on the front, with our own Deutsche Fanboy sticker too. It is a 720p display, in which the colors are accurate, but if you are looking at it from a different screen, from a high resolution screen, it looks very bad. On the left side of the laptop, we have the charger. The charger is charged very nicely with a magnet. It shows orange when it is charging and green when it is fully charged. There is a USB port next to it and a 3.5mm headphone jack followed by 2 microphones. On the right side, there is a Thunderbolt cable, about whom we will talk about later, a USB cable and an SD card reader. So, for all of you who don't know about Thunderbolt, Thunderbolt is a wire made by Intel and Apple, which will let Ethernet or any storage or audio or video to be played. So, for example, there is not an Ethernet port in the MacBook Air, but if you want to connect an Ethernet cable, then you will need a Thunderbolt to Ethernet and an Ethernet cable to connect to your broadband, or if you need to connect it to a projector using an HDMI cable, you need to have a Thunderbolt to HDMI for that. It is very good supporting high speeds. It also has a display which can stay as a hub for all Apple devices. The only disadvantages of Thunderbolt is that it's very costly. A cable of Thunderbolt to HDMI costs 2,500 rupees or around 14 US dollars. That's a lot just for a cable. So that's why I think that Thunderbolt is a good step, but it could be a deal breaker for you, as you will have to buy 2 to 3 different cables if you are going to use a lot of them. There are only 2 USB ports, which is a bummer, as I use a wireless mouse and keyboard which consume one place already, and so I only have one to use. I think that they could use more of USBs, but since it's so thin, I leave it. But these are some of the things that can have a deal breaker. Battery life. When you buy a laptop, you expect it to be portable. MacBook Air is portable. And battery life. How is the battery life? Because when you're roaming around, you need a good battery. It's one word. Good. Nothing more. Apple's website says that it will last 12 hours, but it's not even near that. It's 10 hours, and if we do a lot of editing, 4 hours tops. Tech specs. Each and every computer nerd or geek wants to know these tech specs. Well, the version we had, the 13-inch 128GB SSD version, has a 1.4 GHz dual-core Intel Core i5, 4 GB of RAM. Let's just go back and look at this. 1.4 GHz and 4 GB of RAM. Now, I'm not spoofing, guys. These are the actual specifications. So, 4 GB is really less. And don't tell me that they just made 4 GB because they wanted it to be thin. The Asus Zenfone 2 has 4 GB of RAM. And 1.4 GHz? That's not a lot. Please, Apple, just do something. This is completely bonkers. A nerd would just do this if he listens to this. Yeah, that's how bonkers it is. So please just change this. I don't like you putting bad specs on the iPhone 1 GB of RAM. That's way too less. I know that macOS supports slower specifications, but we'll talk about that later. Now, it's very snappy and it's fast mostly. Sometimes it's very slow because of its low storage. Other than that, everything is okay. So now, let's talk about gaming performance.
No one uses a Mac for gaming. Macs are made for gaming. They are made to be a workstation. But can you use a Mac for gaming? Well, if you want to play games, like you can buy a PC instead because this MacBook doesn't support high graphics as it has low specs. But if you just want to play a few games, is it good for it? Is the MacBook Air good for some games? Let's find out. I have experimented with different games like Dota 2, Head Soccer, and Goat Simulator. As you can see, Head Soccer was running very nicely. And if you are paying attention, Goat Simulator also has a nice frame rate. I suck at Head Soccer, but the frame rate is nice. And overall, you can play average games like Goat Simulator and Head Soccer and Dota 2. But the MacBook Air is not made for games. So if you just want to play games on your computer or laptop, don't buy the MacBook Air. It's a straight no. It has low specs. It doesn't have any games because Macs don't have games. But if you want to just play some mild games on the internet or download some mild games, then it's a big plus.
Now let's summarize everything we've done. Bad specs, bad gaming performance for such a high cost, a cable which you will have to buy if you want to connect to Ethernet, HDMI, VGA or almost any cable. Okay. Now you might be thinking, bad device, right? Well, yeah. But there is one thing that stands out, and that's macOS. I'm not saying macOS is perfect, but that's why we buy it. We buy it for the backlight keyboard. We buy it for the premium and aluminium. We buy it for the gestures. We buy it for macOS 10. macOS 10 Yosemite brought a lot of awesome things, and well, it's a highly debatable topic on Windows, macOS, and Linux, or well, other operating systems. But right now, my favorite is macOS. The different screens, say multitasking. You can just zoom in, zoom out, find out the launchpad, everything integrates. And I really dig the design of OS 10 Yosemite. You don't buy the MacBook for 4 GB RAM or a bad processor. You buy it for macOS 10. Now, macOS 10 also has a lot of disadvantages. For example, if the storage is low, you have to take it out, and when the storage is low, it is really slow, like really slow. Yes, that's what happens when you only have 200 MB of space left on your laptop. Well, now that's a disadvantage. And if you want macOS 10, you need to pay a high price. Making a MacBook Air would cost tops 40,000 bucks. Tops. But why would you buy it? Because of macOS. So Apple has really done something with macOS, and that's why I bought the MacBook Air. macOS, that's the reason. And of course, it's also good for developers because I also code in Python.
Hey guys, here again. So all this time you reviewing videos and not me because I was really sick. I actually had an injection on my head and it was really bad. And that was also the reason I wasn't able to edit. So I recorded everything when I was sick for around 14 days. And then I was editing for the next 2 to 3 days. And well, so sorry for my late up again. So MacBook Air is good. It's really good. It's a nice device. I'm actually shooting to the camera to give a demo of the camera.
because I don't want to just give a selection for camera. You could see the camera, right? If the camera's average, of course, you wouldn't be taking selfies with your camera like selfie time. But it's bad in one way. It costs $1,200. Are you freaking kidding me? And that's a lot. No, it's not even meant to be so much. It doesn't even deserve the price. If you want to buy, if you really want to buy macOS 10, then you should buy this. If you want a laptop, a good thin laptop, there are many better options. And of course, there are many including apps like iMovie, then iPhoto. The Photos app is nice according to what they have Apple has shown to the developers. And overall, I would only buy this if I wanted a light MacBook. But if you want a laptop and you're not specific of what you want, then you could buy any other Windows laptop, or you could just wait for Windows 10 laptops to come, because Windows 10 is promising. It has everything that Windows 8 lacked and Mac OS has. The different screens, the nice gestures, Spartan, Internet Explorer is not there. It's really good. Final statement is, buy it if you want a light MacBook. Don't buy it if you just want a laptop. If you're a developer, you should definitely buy it. Really, it's so really good for developing. The keyboard is nice. It's really good. One more thing. You know the intro in the beginning? Just replay it. Yeah, this intro. It's really good, isn't it? Well, my friend Naga Rajput made it. He also made this logo, which is of course even cooler. And so he also has a YouTube channel. I will link that in the description too. He makes really good content, Photoshop, Lightroom. He's the master of these things. So just subscribe to him and comment. I got to know with Deutschman Boys video. That should be pretty good. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't.
Hello again. You've been holding out, haven't you? Well, now click here to watch the written version of it. And subscribe, right? Twitter, Facebook, you know these things. And one more thing, add me on Snapchat with the username Doll_fanboy. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye.